Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the first, I think, in a long time, channel update. We have a lot to get into in this update, and I will kind of get straight to the chase on what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the future series on this channel. Now, we are approaching Madden season, obviously, and you know we always do a Madden franchise, and I just want to talk about Madden really quick this year. I am very, very hopeful. As a franchise player, the most important thing to me in franchise is how long is it playable for? Like, is it just going to be fun for like a season or two? Is it going to be fun for the long term? That's the big thing. And I think, you know, they're not going to be perfect. They're obviously not going to add every feature that is requested in the community. But I think the new player traits that they've added and adding that into free agency with player-friendly deals, team-friendly deals, that kind of changes how we look at franchise. Because if you think about it now and how franchise has kind of operated previously, there has just not been a consistency with CPU team building. There have been teams that have had franchise quarterbacks before that go ahead and draft a first round quarterback. Like, that's not realistic at all. The only time that has really happened was the Kyler Murray draft, when they drafted Josh Rosen the year before at number 9 and then ended up drafting, you know, Kyler Murray number 1. That was a bit different because obviously a pretty new and young head coach in Cliff Kingsbury really wanted his guy and he went after him. I'm thinking in Madden, that should not be the case at all. Like, that won't happen. So I'm glad they have kind of those player traits or player badges, whatever they call them now, where like you have a badge as a franchise quarterback. You also have an instant starter. So when you get drafted, you already have that tag. You'll go to the top of the depth chart, because I'm sick of like CPU teams drafting guys and never playing them. Like, that's just not realistic. Just because they have a higher guy that is rated on their roster, maybe he's like 37 and maybe he's more of a mentor now later in his career, but he's still a higher overall than, you know, the rookie you just drafted. You still want that guy to be on the field, either at like, you know, left end or right end, whatever the case may be. You want it to kind of be realistic. You want the CPU to play their first round players and their second round players, whatever the case may be. And I'm glad they kind of added that in the game. Also, I'm glad they added kind of free agency how they did, because now players are going to weigh, you know, if you're a contender, whether you're in cold weather, you know, things like that. And it's realistic. I mean, that's the thing about franchises, that a lot of franchise YouTubers, we just want things to play out how it kind of will in real life. We obviously don't want a copycat thing, and it is still a video game, but at the same time, you want longevity in the gameplay. You obviously want to be able to play it long term, and I think now that will kind of deter a lot of users from signing whoever they want. So in free agency now, I'm probably not going to do any custom contracts. I'm going to make it so we select one of the team friendly or player friendly, just so that we play the game, you know, and use those, you know, new features as they should be used. So that brings me to my current series on the channel. So I currently have 2. I want to first talk about the Nashville Stars. Now, the Nashville Stars series, I have had the most fun on MLB The Show I've ever had. And really doing an expansion series rather than a relocation series that I did last year. I did with the Colorado Rockies, turned them into the Denver Bears. This year I did a straight expansion series, and this has been a lot of fun because I've literally built from the ground up, literally depleted the organization, and pretty much had guys that you guys have submitted, my subscribers have submitted, and it's been a ton of fun seeing everybody grow. I've even had to trade some of our subscriber submissions, like John Dumont. You've seen him go and trade. He was a big chip. He was at one point our number 1 prospect in our organization, and we had to let him go. So doing that in MLB The Show has been a lot of fun. That brings me to the Whitetails. Now, the Whitetails series was kind of a project I was working on for quite a bit. Like, I was trying to get some type of college basketball that wasn't NCAA basketball 10. I do love what, the modding community did with that game. Obviously with March Madness Legacy, that is amazing. But I did play it through in 2 different series. The first was Long Beach State. That was amazing. One of my best series on the channel. Definitely top 3 in my opinion. And then now UCF, who we just finished. I did not want to do a 3rd series in it because I feel like the game was getting just a little bit boring, because once you play a game too much, it just gets played out. And that's why I kind of wanted to go the athletic director dynasty route, because I wanted a chance to play basketball, football, and possibly baseball all in one series, so that I'm not just stuck on one game. That was pretty fun until obviously running into NBA 2K as a mod does have its issues. One is the game always crashes. Like it's not always, but after playing a long game or playing 2 quarters and your game crashes, it's annoying. And then the court brightness. I don't know why the courts are so bright in NBA 2K21, because it is an NBA 2K21 mod, but the courts are extremely bright. I cannot fix it. I've tried to eliminate shadows and all the lighting and stuff, and it just doesn't seem to work. So I'm really struggling with that. And then just seeing the response to just having basketball on the channel with the whitetails hasn't been the best. So, what I'm deciding to do here, and we are approaching the end of season 1, is that I am going to put the series on hold. I think what, a lot of YouTubers do, they try to get a lot of content out, but I try to get 2 series out, and I'm going to tell you why at a time, max 2 series. The reason why is because I feel like the focus just isn't there when you have more than 2 series. One series is bound to get neglected, and either you're waiting a few days to make a video, or your subscribers or the people that are watching you are waiting, too long between series. I like to get series out like every other day. So that's why you see me rotate my series, so that you're not waiting too long. You're getting like 4 videos a week in a series, and 3 or 4, whatever the case may be. And you kind of get like, immersed in it. Like you don't feel like you're missing anything, and you don't feel like, it's been too long. So you're just like catching up. And I don't want to do that in one of my series. I would much rather have 2 series and do them consistently than have 3 series and have one of them be like a 1 episode a week type of thing. I don't want that to happen. So what I'm deciding to do, I love Madden. Madden is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to go ahead and commit to Madden and the Nashville Star Series, because the Star Series is doing amazing, and I love just how much fun I'm having with it. And I'm excited for like the journey in it. Like we have been to the mountaintop. We have now been to our 2nd straight World Series. And then now we're kind of in a flux. Like, are we going to compete for the World Series again? Or are we headed for a rebuild? I don't know, because it's just that type of series with the budget restrictions that I have. It's just a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And then talking about just the whitetails, I'm going to put it on hold. And once the Nashville Star Series ends, I could bring it back. Now, I say could because I'm probably going to put it to a vote. Like, do you guys want to see this or that? Or should I start a new series with another game? That is also a possibility. I have floated around the idea of bringing back one of the old PS2 NCAA football games. That is a possibility also. I don't want to be too heavy in it, in PS2 or in football. So I want to kind of make it an athletic director also. If you follow Uncle Sam's Reject, he's actually doing a PS2 athletic director dynasty. That's really, really fun to watch. Go ahead and check out his channel. And I think that, right now I'm kind of at a spot where Madden is coming out. I want to give my full effort to Madden. And I think that's what we're going to do. So moving forward, let's just talk about Madden. So for the franchise, what I think I want to do is one of 2 things. So I want to either do an expansion. I have not done an expansion franchise ever on my channel. So I think I've done 4 Madden franchises. I'm trying to think of them all. The Jets, the Dolphins, and then the Detroit Lions. This is my fourth one, I believe. I probably did another one. I can't even think of it right now. But now what I want to do, because every single Madden, and like I said, this Madden is a whole lot better with franchise, which I'm very hopeful for. But this is how usually franchise goes. You build a bad team. You get to the Super Bowl. You win 2 straight Super Bowls, or you get 3 straight Super Bowls or whatever. Then it just kind of gets boring. So I'm hopeful that for Madden, you know, with CPU team building and contracts and all, it's going to be a lot harder. But I don't want to start with like a bad team. I want to either start with an expansion team. That would obviously be a bad team. I would deplete a team. So obviously you can't expand in Madden. That's just not a feature. So you're going to have to like clean out a team and then go through the expansion process. I would likely follow the same process that the Houston Texans faced when they were an expansion team. So going through the draft with the rookies, I'll have to look up like everything and all the stipulations and stuff, but I would probably go that same route that the Texans took. Or I would go ahead and take a team that's in the NFL right now, one that's not like one of the bottom 5 teams, like obviously a team that would be good or decent, but one that nobody else is doing, because obviously everybody's going to be doing like the bad teams in the NFL. You know, the Bears, the Falcons, the Giants, all the other teams. The Panthers are another one. Just those bad teams. Everybody always does like the bottom like 5 teams, 5 to 8 teams. I want to take another team and kind of like create a storyline where I deplete their roster. So I start out with a good team and then kind of just get rid of like all their good players and kind of just like blow it up like at the beginning of the series. So either creating like a world where there's a scandal or just some type of storyline where, you know, a team just didn't have the success that they were having, but they're still a team that nobody's doing. And I kind of like to do new things on my channel. So even doing something like that is new for me in Madden, because you're not just taking a bad franchise and kind of building them up. You're kind of breaking down a good franchise and then having to build them up back to where they were. And I think it'll be kind of fun this year based on the improvements that they made in Madden. Obviously, drafting is a little bit harder. Like, you can still scout guys, but obviously with the draft update that they put in the game last year, it's just a lot different. And you don't really, you know, it's not as easy as scouting, you know, using points to scout the 3, I don't even know what you call them, the 3 attributes, and then unlocking to see what round grade they are. That's way too easy. I mean, it's way too easy. Basically, you can draft like all gems in every single round. I mean, pretty much. But with the new scouting update, even though it has its flaws, it doesn't allow you to be like Superman during the draft. So that is a pretty good update, I think, and they have made tweaks to that as well. But I'm more excited for free agency, so we'll have to just see like how that will go. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm thinking either, like I said, an actual team that is, you know, a team that nobody's doing. I'm not going to name any names right now. I have 2 in my head, and I guess I can reveal them to you. I'm thinking doing the Baltimore Ravens. Nobody ever does the Ravens in franchise. I don't remember the last time I've seen the Ravens in any franchise. Just building them up. I would likely keep Lamar Jackson. I think it's just interesting keeping Lamar Jackson and then building around him, but depleting the rest of the roster. So I don't know what I'd do there. The second team would be the Packers. That's an easy storyline for me. I already have the concept made up already. I think that's a team that I want to do. They are probably the front runner for an actual team. Or there's the expansion team. So I don't know exactly what expansion team I would do. I did put a vote on my page, so go check that out to see what team you would like to see. OKC was winning that. I would likely go with the OKC Lancers because they just have better jerseys. I could go the OKC Bisons as well, but I kind of already did like the OKC Buffaloes with Madden 12 for a little bit, so that would kind of be weird to do, like kind of the same jersey concepts and everything. But I think that, you know, that's what I'm thinking. And also another expansion team I could do, which I did not list, is Memphis. They have the Memphis Egyptians. I think that's very interesting. I was watching one of C4's videos, and he was kind of cracking jokes on why, you know, the Memphis would be Egyptians. It's because Memphis is actually named after an Egyptian capital named Memphis. So I think that story is pretty cool, and it would keep the Tennessee type of vibes on my channel right now. Another team I want to throw in the ring for actual NFL team, the Titans. I could also tear them down and keep, like I said, their rookies. I think that's what I'll do in all series. Like if I were to do that, if I were to take an NFL team and kind of break down the roster, I would keep all the rookies. So that would mean for Tennessee, Malik Willis would stay on the team, and we would kind of build around Malik Willis. I think that's actually one of the three teams. So it's probably either going to be, if it's an actual team, the Titans, Ravens, or Packers. And then probably if I do an expansion team, the Memphis Egyptians or the OKC Lancers. So I might put that to a vote, and I'm not saying that that vote will decide who I will do. It will have influence, but I don't think it will decide what I do. I think I need to wait it out a couple of days and think about it. I'll have time to think about it a little bit. I'm going on vacation for a couple of days, so I will have time then. But let me know what you guys think. You know, do you guys want to see a NFL team, a roster that's, you know, broken down like that? I like I said, I don't want to do a bad team and just build them up like I do every year. I want to do something different. So the Packers, Ravens, or Titans? Or do you want to see an expansion team where we literally start from ground zero and have to build the team up? The Memphis Egyptians or the OKC Lancers? So I'm going to put those two teams to a vote. And I want to know your thoughts on the NFL team, like Packers, like I said, Ravens, Titans also. But it hurts me to say that I am putting on the Whitetails on hold. And I think it has a lot to do with just running 3 series for one. And then obviously basketball, it just hasn't hit like I thought it was going to hit. That's fine. Like, I'm not doing it for the success, but I also want something to be enjoyable. And if it's not enjoyable for me because I'm trying to put out good content and it doesn't look good on your screen, I obviously don't feel good about it. And then obviously you guys aren't interested as well. So I want to get your thoughts on really the Madden series, what you guys think I should do. And I want your feedback down in the comments. You guys, your feedback means a lot to me. So going into Madden season, I definitely want to do something that you guys want to see, that I'm interested in. I'm interested in all of it. I'm just on the fence on what concept I want to go with. So that's going to do it here for the channel update. And I'm excited to get into Madden this year. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Sorry if I sound a little bit under the weather. Like I have been, since I've had 2 kids now, I am sick like all the time. So this is just something new for me, but I'm getting better. Everything's good. And I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, just the first half of this year. I am excited for Madden season. Probably the most excited I've been for Madden, mainly because of all of the franchise updates they have made. It makes you think that, you know, Madden has some potential. I mean, that is the thing. What's up with this billion-dollar company just neglecting something that's been so historic? But they're finally coming around a little bit, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I'm excited for this year's Madden. The gameplay actually looks pretty good too. And we'll see what happens here in Madden season. Let me know what you guys think of the Madden series and what your opinion is on what I should do down in the comment section below. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Madden season is coming up soon, so see you likely Tuesday or Wednesday in Madden. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I like getting money, I got time to get it. Target on me, so my car's a tenant. Dancing with the devil, I don't bargain with it. Bobbing in the dash, and the stick is with it. And I hit the 4-5 on the west side. But I'm from the east side, this how we slide. This how we ride, yeah, yeah, this how we ride.